Hello, it's my first of the new batch of papers. We're going to look at the 2017 ones, starting with paper 21, obviously, from May-June 2017, then going on later on to do paper 22 and then paper 31, 32, and then hopefully some AS ones as well. But that being said, we might as well get started. So there's not a whole lot brand new to the papers. There's not like a big change like there was in previous years, so hopefully that'll carry on for 2018. But a couple of things to watch out for: they've become very big fans of making sure that you're saving things as Word documents or in native formats and not as sort of portable formats. So you'll notice all these files are RTFs. You're going to need to make sure you're saving Word documents. That's part of your evidence. It's part of the requirement. So just be aware of it, and file names need to look good as well. Also, you want to make sure you have a work area. So I've got my work area. You'll have whatever your system has. I just made this folder, by the way. You can make your own, obviously. It's pretty straightforward. Okay, so first things first, we're going to set up our evidence. Your evidence document looks like this, and you need to add your candidate number, and then you need to save it as a document. So we want to add, first of all, our header, not footer, header. You add your name and your candidate number, and then we save this in our work area as a Word doc with your candidate number in the end. You can save that. Task number 2 asks you to open brochures, and you want to save brochures as leaflets. My work area, J217, leaflet, and leaflet needs to be a Word document. Save that. Your first evidence is just showing that you've saved everything correctly. So if we go to my work area and use the snipping tool, or you can use Alt Print Screen if you prefer, to select this, and you need to show it's a Word document, which we have done. And that is clear, and you can see you've got the files with correct names and Word documents. That is one mark, and we're ready to move on. So we're going back to our leaflet. The next step is the classic setting up the document with your names and things, because if you don't put your names on them, you don't get any points for anything at all, so it's super important you don't skip this step. In the top left, you want your name, your center number, and your candidate number, so that would be Kevin 1234, and my center number is 4321, just because. It usually has letters as well. Let's go AB 124321. Okay, and you also want to include some automated parts. You want automated page numbers in here. I would use a quick part, and it is a field, and one of your fields is called page number. You can click on that, click the numbers, and OK, and that does that for you. In the footer, we want to add the automated file name with the path. So you want to click home, you want to right align that. You want to insert another quick part. Oh, I've lost it now. There we go, quick parts. That's field. The field is file name, which I can't find. There we go. That's alphabetical order. And you want to add the path as well. And that puts that in there like that. And that appears on every page, just like requested. The next step is what they added last year with the house styles. It's not particularly complicated, but it is quite irritating because it's quite repetitive, quite time consuming. So you want to set your first style. I'll just set them all on this title. You can set them in a whole bunch of ways, but I find this is the easiest. Serif fonts have little feet on the bottom, so Times New Roman is your go-to. We're going font size 24. It's bold. I will do all in caps at the end because I've had some technical difficulties with it already today. and I'm just going to show you in general. We want to make sure this is still highlighted, sorry. Your line spacing is single line spacing with an 11 point after it, and then we can, this should be center line, sorry. We then want to add that style as TSS heading, TSS title, sorry. We then want to do a subtitle, which is font size 16. It is light aligned. It is italic. We want to do our line spacing again, and this time single line spacing, nothing after it. That's left aligned, sorry, right aligned. And we want to add in the quick style, sorry, and this is TSS-subtitle. The next one needs to go in the evidence document, and that's the subheading. So we want to, again, this time it is center aligned, it's size 14, it's underlined and italicized. Oh, subtitle should not be emboldened. I'll sort that in a second, sorry. Italic and underline, single line spacing, and we do the 11 point thing again. So 11 points. And we will save this. New quick style called TSS-subheading. If you modify subheading, we can get our screenshot. And you also want to include the font, so not the font, sorry. You also want to include the paragraph so you can see the line spacing. So we can snip this and then paste that. Oh, we don't need to paste that. You need to okay that, and we can paste that into our evidence for evidence number 2. And that shows everything you need. It shows the line spacing, it shows all the styles, it shows all the information that's required to get the points for that. We then have to fix this subheading because I shouldn't be bold. So modify, I can just unbolden that. Subheading. It's also bold, sorry. Shouldn't be bold. When did they do that screenshot as well? Sorry, I'm getting confused today. There we go. Oh, it's not bold. That's fine. Okay. Oh, okay. That's okay. Right. Next up, we've got that. We want to do the body text. So again, just do it on here. It is font size 11. It is a sans serif font. So Arial will do just fine. No styles. And line spacing options. You have an 11 point following on your thing, and that's it. And we want to keep this style as TSS-body. And then finally, exactly the same again, but without the line spacing. 0. And that we can save as TSS table. Alright, so we want to add our title to the title. So with the capital letters thing, because you're not evidencing that one, you can just cheat, do this. However, if you did have to evidence it, if you modify and go to fonts, you can just flick all caps on. But since it's not in the evidence document, it doesn't actually matter. Okay, we then want, below this, you want to add your TSS subheading, subtitle. 16 point, and it should say produced by Kevin. Okay, then it tells you to highlight all the rest of the text and apply a style, and this style is DSS body. Sometimes it just doesn't select everything, and my body style needs to be modified because it's right aligned as well. It needs to be fully justified. Okay, underneath, so we've applied subtitle to this, we've applied body text to everything else. You want to find your subheadings. Sorry, so that's TSS subheading. And international community and all the following text played 2 columns with 1 centimeter gap. Sorry, I got ahead of myself there. So do page layout, more columns, 2 columns with a 1 centimeter gap. Okay. That puts that in place. We then want to go through and find all our subheadings and apply the subheading style to them. Subheading. 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 Oh. Subheading. I'll stop saying that now, you get the gist. So we highlight all the subheadings. And there should be 8 of them. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Your body text is applied here as well. So you want to make sure you're applying your styles. I don't know why it doesn't always select all of them. It's just quite irritating that way. But it is what it is, I guess. So just scan through it, look for any text that isn't quite right. We'll fix this in a minute. It looks okay to me, so can kill that. We've got our subheadings. You want to then sort your table. So after history, we're inserting a new row. In this column, we want to add a literature class. If you live somewhere far away from Europe and your keyboard doesn't have a pound sign on it, like my one, you can just copy and paste to continue the pound sign. Otherwise, you can just type it. Five. And so the first row of the table, this one. Actually, we want to fix this first because it asks you to make sure that, where is it gone? All text in column 1 stays on one line. So we want to resize our table. It helps if we have the grid lines for that. We'll need them anyway. Add your borders like that. And then you can resize this so everything fits on one line. It doesn't matter about the other ones. So that's what you need to do there. We then want to make sure we apply the heading should be bold, sorry. The first row should be bold, italic, and it should be merged because it needs to be centered over 3 columns. And it has a background, so we've got borders and shading. In the shading, you can choose 20% grey color, just like that. The table fits in the columns, so it's a little bit smaller. We can stretch it a little bit if we need to. You want to make sure the table style is applied to it. Table. And internal grid lines are all displayed, we did that already. Column 1 is all in one line. So that's that done. It looks a bit wonky just now, but I wouldn't worry about that until the end, because we probably have to insert some more stuff, so it should fix. Alright, so we've got our table. The next thing it wants is a graph. This is unusual at this stage. Like usually graphs would be in paper 3, but graphs are pretty straightforward. So we have this file called nationalities, and we want to create a vertical bar chart to show the nationalities of each student from 2016. So we can highlight this, insert a column chart, and there you go. Alright, so your bar chart needs to have the title, student nationalities, so chart layout, student, I can't spell, student nationalities, with a Y, student nationality. You should have an axis label called country, so again, axis titles, primary horizontal axis, we want to say country. It should not have a legend, so we can delete that. You want to set your scales. The biggest value is 1200 and it goes up in 300s. Evidently now it goes up in 1s. So in here we can format the axis, and our maximum is 1200. Our major units are 300, and we can click close, and there you have it. We can copy this because we're going to have to put it in our document, and insert the chart after the paragraph ending with the students came from 2016. So, we'll do it on this page, not that one. Students came, so it wants to go here. Paste in our chart. And it's a bit teeny tiny there. So you might want to make this a bit taller just so it looks a bit better. You can see all the data labels. And then we need to import an image. And that's going to go below the subheading language requirements. So language requirements are here. We want to insert a picture. It's going to be in exam files. And here. We'll insert that. You want to reflect the image. Like that. And you want to make sure it's 4 centimeters wide and aspect ratio is maintained. So we do 4 cm, like that. Next up, we would like to wrap the text tightly around it. So you want to make this right aligned. Go to wrap text and tight. And that puts that in where it wants it. Then you want to spell check and proof your document and check for widows and orphans. So visa can move down. And that looks like to me. So we can file and save that.